guys, this is Charlie, and today we're reading another chapter of Judy Moody Goes to College, and I'm sorry, we're actually reading chapter 9 today. The chapters were numbered wrong, so I'm actually reading chapter 9 today. So last chapter was actually 8, not 9, and it's called Flunkitude. When Judy Moody got to class 3T, now 3G, the next morning, there was no teacher in the room. No teacher, no math candy on the desk, no attitude tent. Something was up, way up. The whole room was buzzing around about what happened to Mrs. Grossman. She went camping in her attitude tent. She ate too much good behavior candy. She ran away to Italy to be a better teacher. Soon the bell rang. Still no teacher. Somebody has to be the teacher, said Jessica Finch, and I think it should be me, since I'm the smartest. But Judy Moody's been to college, yelled Frank, and she learned cool stuff, said Rocky, like how to make yourself into a cat or a chair or a tree. Judy Moody, Judy Moody. The class started yelling, stomping their feet. She, Professor Judy Moody, stood in front of the whole class and told them all about college. She told about dorm rooms and drums and veggie burgers and vending machines. She told them about pancakes and pop art and peace tents. She led the class in a tree pose. And they learned floss or treat. It's not about cleaning. Philosophy. It's not about cleaning your teeth. It's about thinking until your head hurts. Kind of like a brain teaser, but more like a major head scratcher. Like what? Asked Frank. Like if a tree falls in the forest, okay? And if nobody is around for miles and miles to hear it, does it still make a sound? The whole class got quiet, peaceful quiet. Yoga, not your yogurt quiet. The whole class was lost in a head-scratching attitude of thinking. Just then, Judy caught a glimpse of something in the hallway, something like a shadow. The shadow moved. The shadow was Mr. Todd! Judy yelled, breaking the head-scratching silence. Look, everybody, Professor Todd is back. Mr. Todd, can I try your crutches? Where's Mrs. Grossman? She gave us candy. Except Judy, who had to sit in a tent all by herself. When class 3T, not 3G, had settled down, Mr. Todd told them about his broken foot and going to the doctor and being late. He showed them his walking cast, and all the kids got to sign it. I'm very proud of you, class, for the way you took over until I got here. And Judy, you'll have to let me in on your secret, said Mr. Todd. I don't know how you got the class to be this quiet. It's college thinking, said Frank. Judy Moody goes to college and third grade now. They told Mr. Todd everything about Mr. Grossman and the tutor and going to college. They told him about multi step word problems and math candy and the attitude tent. Mr. Todd smiled and frowned and raised his eyebrows and pushed up his glasses. I sure missed a lot these last few weeks. Tell you what, Mr. Todd glanced at his watch. Looks like we missed spelling for today, so let's take a short recess. When we come back, it'll be time for math. I'm going to pass out a quick quiz. Not a test. Don't worry, you won't be graded. I just want to see where everybody is in math. Aw, everybody groaned. Everybody except Judy. She wanted to take the quiz. She wanted to show Mr. Todd all the stuff she'd been learning with her tutor. Graphs and fractions and algebra. For once, she'd be the one to win gobs and gobs of math candy. Mr. Todd passed out the test. Judy got out her college not grouchy pencil for good luck. Third graders' pencils were old school. Judy's college pencil flew. She erased only 2 times. She even drew a graph for extra credit. She did not look at her, ask a question, watch 5,000 once. Judy busted that pop quiz. She owned the math test. Mr. Todd was going to be amazed at Judy's new mathitude. Soon she would be the proud owner of buckets of math candy. Done! Judy looked up. She could not believe her eyes. She, Judy, math genius, was not done first. She was dead last. Time's up, Mr. Todd. Let's have 15 minutes of silent reading while I look over your papers. For 15 silent minutes, Judy read ahead in the Catwings book. She read with her eyes, but not with her brain. All her brain could think about was how super-duper great she was going to be in math. Mr. Todd was frowning. He looked up. He looked back down. Mr. Todd scratched his head. Mr. Todd frowned some more. He wrote and wrote with his red pencil. Judy could not help noticing he hardly even touched his green for good work pencil. "Class," said Mr. Todd, looking up. At last, "we have a problem." Problem? Of course there was a problem. There were 10 problems. Everybody knew math was full of problems. "I've corrected the papers, and the top score goes to Judy Moody." "Woohoo!" said Judy, but she could not see how being the top of her class, ever in math was a problem. "The problem is, everybody else failed." "What?" "The whole entire class flunked. As in flubbed it up big time. As in a big fat F. Most of you did not even finish your test, and many of you did not even seem to try. Can anybody tell me what's going on here?" The whole class looked down, staring at their desks, the floor, their shoes, except for Judy. "Professor Todd," said Judy, raising her hand, "I know what happened. I got to go to college and become an uber genius in math, and everybody else fell behind." Said Mr. Todd. "Any other ideas, Jessica Finch?" Jessica cleared her throat. "Well, Rocky and Frank thought it would be way cool to go to college, and they said, 'It's our fault,'" said Rocky. "We thought if we all flunked, we would need a tutor, and we got to go to college too." "Like Judy," said Frank. "You mean you all messed up on purpose?" Judy asked. "Yeah, we just thought it up during morning recess," said Frank. "Professor Todd," said Judy, "I think I should get all the math candy since I'm the only one who took the test for serious. And they should all go to the attitude tent." "Let's get something straight," said Mr. Todd. "I realize Mrs. Grossman may have had different rules for the last few weeks, but in my class we do our work to learn, not to earn candy. As for the tent, well, it seems we have an attitude problem bigger than any tent." Class 3T was silent. Not a peaceful quiet, itchy, scratchy quiet. "We're sorry," said Frank. "We'll take it again," said Rocky, "for real this time." Mr. Todd nodded. "Professor Todd," Judy asked, "I have a question. I was wondering if you yelled at our class, but nobody was here to hear it. Would it still mean you're mad at us?" Okay, guys, that's it. Chapter 10 is called Gratitude. Sorry, it said 11, so I had to think of it. Okay, guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell. And I'll see you guys next video. See ya!